Good morning. This is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. I'm here at 3912 Big Oak Drive in the Studio City area, and I'm preparing to perform a video examination of the main sewer line here on the property for Jeanette McCurdy. Now, the main sewer line is the portion of the waste drainage piping that is exterior to the structure. It lies underground and connects the building drain line system to the public sewer. The building drain line system then is the portion or portions of the waste drainage piping that is underneath or interior to the structure. Our examination today is not focusing on the building drain line system, so if further evaluation is desired regarding the building drain line system, a licensed plumbing contractor should be contacted, or a specialty building drain line video examination to be set up through our office. So I'm going to be performing my examinations today from the only cleanout access I was able to find. This is a 3-inch cleanout here. It has a cap you can remove. Apparently this was installed recently. And this is on the pipe that comes out of the structure. It's basically right up underneath our front porch, our front patio deck here. The pipe comes out in that far corner and runs just under the dirt along this side and then drops down right here under the wall. Now the system's going to run out and kind of stair-step its way down under these front planters down to the sidewalk and then over towards the middle of the driveway here before it drops down again to run out to the center of the street to the city sewer. Now unfortunately, with the amount of turns in the system, we weren't able to get our camera all the way to that city connection because there are some roots in the line that are keeping us from pushing through. I've placed some indicating markers down there in the driveway where I'm going to be recommending a cleanout be installed. So we'll get the camera and it will help to illustrate what I'm talking about as far as the turns and bends. Now, cleanouts are required for every 135 degrees of turn in a sewer line system. So essentially every 90-degree elbow and 45-degree elbow, we'd be having another clean out. Now, sometimes that is excessive. In a situation like this, we'd have 4 or 5 clean outs, but we certainly want to have more suitable access to be able to maintain the system. So I am going to be recommending a second clean out down there. There's another 90-degree turn here, dropping down another 90-degree turn here, heading out into the sidewalk area now, making another 90-degree turn to the right. Right here is the location that I'm recommending this clean out. Now, what it looks like here is at the upper left of the screen. Looks like there's a hole that's been punched in the pipe, and maybe somebody put something around it to kind of cover it up, tried to seal it up. We've got some minor roots coming in through this area. It looks like there's a little bit of soil intrusion from here as well. So this is a compromise of the integrity of the pipe. These plastic piping materials are intended to be impervious to root intrusions and have a very long service life expectancy. So this is something that would dictate repair. Now this is the precise location where I'm recommending that clean out be installed, so that'll take care of 2 things at once. We'll repair this hole in the pipe and provide better access for maintenance of the system. Of course, we just passed that now, and you'll see here we're dropping vertically again. As we drop vertically, we're making a drop down and then coming into another Y connection. It's going to connect us up to our clay lateral pipe that comes from the city. Now this clay piping under the street is very common. This is the most common piping we're going to find here, and it's very normal to see this. Now this is an older style clay piping, so I'm guessing that this structure that's here now is not the original structure, or the lateral pipe here was run at some time in the past. And you'll see as we get into the system, just before our public connection, we've got some pretty significant root intrusion. Now these clay lines are expected to have a very long service life. This is a kiln-fired clay, so it's a natural material that is not expected to deteriorate underground. But it is more brittle in nature and does have a higher potential for damage during seismic activity and earthquakes. common conditions we find in these clay lines are things like minor settlement of pipe sections themselves and root intrusions at the joints. Coming up here on an area where there are some root intrusions. Even get the camera lens cleaned off. A little bit of water here should be coming through in a minute. Normally we're going to suggest that these roots can be maintained with regular sewer line cleanings. So when they're left unmaintained for extended periods, that they can create blockages in the system, potentially damage a pipe. Now this particular area was causing some pretty slow drainage and debris buildup, and we punched our camera through some of this, got some of the debris out, so it's draining a little bit better, but it is preventing the camera from pushing all the way through. And I believe this is going to be right at the city connection itself. And with the roots and the final turn into the city, we just can't get through it. We also can't see if these roots have caused any damage. Let that water catch up. There it is. Too much for our camera to be able to be pushed through. Kind of get around that one, and I can just make out the turn into the city ahead of us. So unfortunately we're not going to be able to give a very accurate evaluation of this particular area of the pipe just before the city connection until it's been cleaned. And to effectively clean it again, we're going to need to clean out somewhere closer to this area. Go around quite so many bends and turns. So that's going to be our recommendation. Is we're going to recommend that clean out in the driveway apron area. A good thorough cleaning of the system, and then a follow-up examination to get a better idea of what's going on in the pipe here through this area. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and conclude the video portion of this examination. Written report which will accompany this video will describe the final findings and recommendations for today's evaluation. And then once I've had a chance to accurately evaluate this portion of the system, I can give final repair recommendations if needed and maintenance recommendations. This is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. Thank you very much and have a pleasant day.